This business of above, you want Asaduddin Owaisi, Mahesh Jetmalani says, we want a candidate who is above politics. Obvious, no, 1 minute, let him respond and then I'll come back to you. Mr. Owaisi above politics. Pranab Mukherjee not above politics. Maybe Hamid Ansari can qualify as above politics. Meera Kumar certainly not above politics. Your response on the above politics description of a good presidential candidate by Mr. Jetmalani.
You know, the best way of answering a question is to avoid answering it, and I would put it in this way, Mr. Arnab Goswami, that in the history of our independent India, in my small opinion, we have only two presidents who had really acquired some authority and significance when they became president. That is Shankar Dayal Sharma and Mr. Narayanan. Because the post of president he should not be a bulldog, but he should be a watchdog. He's not a rubber stamp as well. And that is what we want. Someone like Shankar Dayal Sharma, Mr. Narayan or Zakir Hussain. I mean, these are the three stalwarts. You had other presidents also. I don't want to rake up the whole controversy, but this is what we're looking at. I mean, if there is a non-political person or a political person, but whoever is nominated to become president of India, he should acquire that authority and significance. That is most important.
No, but how is the UPA handling the whole process? Mr. Owaisi, Dinesh Trivedi joins the debate. What do you think about what's going on, Mr. Trivedi? Is up and down, hard bargaining which is going on. Asaduddin Owaisi is representing the UPA on this debate. He says we want a president of stature. And Mahesh Jetmalani says we want someone above politics.
No, Arnab, I can just tell you, I am not talking on behalf of any party or as a member of parliament. As a citizen of India, I am saddened. President of India is supposed to be the chief of our entire armed forces. He or she is going to represent 1.2 lovely Indians all over the world. He is #1 constitutional authority, and whoever becomes, he could be a politician, but once he becomes like a speaker or a chairman of Rajya Sabha, he is above politics. But the way things are panning out and the entire process, I think it is putting India's image to shame. And I personally feel India doesn't deserve this.
So specifically, what do you oppose? Specifically, what is your problem, no, Mr. Trivedi? What is it about this process you don't like?
No, you see, because it is quite evident, and I'm not going into any specific, because all these party leaders, they are all national figures, and I'm not trying to talk about any individual or any party, but the entire process, that this is my candidate, that is your candidate, the candidate has to be of India. And supposing if there is an election, so be it. How does it matter? It doesn't mean that if you have an election, doesn't matter. And that is why the entire process, the voting is supposed to be confidential. So I personally feel the right process should have been, leave it to the MPs and MLAs. Don't even issue any kind of whip. And this is the way it should be, that these are the people. Why should be a nominee of a
Which election in the history of India has happened like that? Which election in the history of India has happened like that?
No, but you see, if we have not, earlier there was majority of a ruling party, let's say. And that is why whoever the ruling party proposed, their name carried on because of the numbers. Democracy is at the end of the day matter of numbers. But once you become the president, we had,
let's be real,
Sarvapalli Dr. Radhakrishnan.
No, presidential election has become about politics. It's an opportunity, isn't it? So you're pointing fingers at the BJP, are you? For trying to, you're saying the BJP should have left it to the government to have an election. They shouldn't be putting up a candidate of their own? Is that what you're suggesting? Lost the line with Dinesh Trivedi there. Interesting angle. But above politics, Mahesh Jetmalani, please explain. Continue to explain what you meant by above politics.
Well, what I mean by above politics is basically there are two criteria. That he is not a career politician like most of the other candidates are. Okay. And B, he should be a man who's an eminent personality, who's much loved by the people. In this case, in the case of Dr. Kalam, in addition, you have somebody with a proven track record in the field of nuclear science, and also a proven track record as a president, much loved by, I vouchsafe for Arnav, that if you were to have a direct election for a president today, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam would be the popular choice of the people at large in this country.
Popular choice is not
If the constituent
necessarily correct choice. Come on, Mr. Jethmalani. Let India be more politicized rather than depoliticize it, as actually Anna Hazare and others are doing.
I don't know what you mean by that. What do you mean by depoliticize? The whole theory of having a constitutional head is somebody who upholds the law and the constitution as opposed to being subservient to any political leader.
Don't speak in generalities, Mahesh Jethmalani. Don't speak in generalities.
And the person who has not even tested water at Gram Pradhan election doesn't know about a constituency of MLAs or MPs. He can be the head of the India. I think I'm really ashamed of myself being an Indian.
No,
if a person of this stature is being elevated, he has a proven credential in science, not in politics.
Professor Vivek,
let there be in science.
No, Professor, you know, the question here is that I think we are straying way out of course. Why, if you are pitching for Mr. Kalam, let's be specific, Mr. Jethmalani, pitch for Mr. Kalam. But if you are saying non-political candidate is someone you want, then why don't you come out and say that Purno Sangma cannot be president? And that Naveen Patnaik and J. Jayalalitha have made a grievous mistake by putting up the name of a career politician as a possible presidential candidate. Kalam does not stand a chance without the NDA's backing. Mamata Banerjee can't get Kalam elected, can she? So, you know, come forth and say
let me come forth what you want. Look, unfortunately enough, the decision is not mine. The decision will be taken by the BJP and the NDA. It is purely a personal choice. I don't speak today as a spokesperson of the BJP. I speak in a personal capacity, and I think that if you did a poll among all the candidates whose names are now doing the rounds as a presidential candidate, I think the popular choice would be Dr. Kalam.
I'm sorry, but I think there is a deep veneer, there's a deep political angle behind the veneer of your supporting a non-political candidate. Dinesh Trivedi raised his hand. One sec, Dinesh Trivedi is coming in.
What is the deep political
Dinesh Trivedi is coming in. Dinesh Trivedi.
No, Arnab, I just want to ask one, that even if you are giving an award to somebody, the basic courtesy is to ask that person that, would you like to receive this award? One thing I don't understand, have we asked these people whether they themselves are ready to contest the election?
Exactly.
Because at
exactly.
throw so many names, and if they say that, sorry, I'm not ready to, necessary, we are just
losing the line there.
So let me put this.
No, it's a clear point. Nobody asked Kalam. Nobody has asked Kalam. And there are reports now, Mr. Jethmalani, that there is a divide between the two M's. In fact, Mulayam Singh Yadav has been reported as saying, when did I say that Kalam is my final choice? So there is a twist to this tale also. Mr. Owaisi, your comments, because Mamata Banerjee came out and said,
Arnab, when NDA.
No, 1 second. This is complete confusion.
I want to just come in. I want to come in here, Arnab. 1 minute.
Yes.
I want to just say, ask actually NDA people, when Bhairav Singh Shekhawat, their stalwart leader, when he wanted to contest election, he contested an independent candidate. They could not muster courage to give an ideological backing to him. Just imagine how much actually they can depoliticize this whole candidate. And when Kalam's name came, when they wanted to prove their secular credentials, after the Gujarat carnage, his name assured, and then actually he was brought in. Otherwise, his name was nowhere near in the parlance of politics.
Mr. Owaisi, at tomorrow's meeting, do you think it's going to be a very democratic process with each party putting up their particular name? Who's your name? Who's your choice? Do you have a say, for example, let me ask you, do you have a say in deciding between Hamid Ansari and Pranab Mukherjee, or will you go with whoever the Congress chooses?
Mr. Arnab Goswami, tomorrow's meeting, I cannot tell you beforehand what's going to happen in tomorrow's meeting. But one thing I would certainly tell you that I have the UPA chairperson had called me for a first round of meeting in the month of May.
Okay.
and then now tomorrow again all the lives will be there. I'm sure that the names will come out, and there will be unanimity on the names which will come out tomorrow. And I'm certainly the whole nation will know who will be the UPA candidate for the presidentship.
So who did she mention to you when she met you?
Pardon?
What were the names you discussed when you met her?
No, I mean, see, what I speak to you in person, how can I say it on your program? You know, there has to be certain criteria. I have spoken to the UPA chairperson. I am not at liberty, and why should I share those names or thoughts which happened over there with you?
I was just.
No. I know you had your day yesterday, but you know, yesterday was yesterday. You cannot.
I am simply trying to draw you in and see whether it is a standard practice of UPA alliance to reveal the conversation that they have inside 10 Janpad. That was just I was just trying. My job is to keep trying. Dinesh Trivedi, do you think Mamata Banerjee could have been misguided into believing that she would be able to call the shots all the way, that she put too much faith in Mulayam Singh Yadav, perhaps underestimating Mulayam Singh Yadav's ability to do a U-turn?
No, I don't think it will be fair on my part to really comment on such a senior national leader as Mamata Banerjee. But what I would say, that let's have faith in the country and let's have faith in the constitutional position. Today, what is I feel is happening, that perhaps political parties are losing faith in the constitutional authority of the President of India. That is why everybody wants, this is my man, that is your man. That is where I think crisis of confidence, and that is what saddens me.
Yes, I can see, Mr. Trivedi, that you are being extremely careful in phrasing, you know, what you say there vis-a-vis Mamata Banerjee. That's okay, but I want to go back to Sachi. Sachi, why do you think there is a fresh round of negotiations now happening? Is there a divide on the details?
Yeah, I think, what I've been hearing is that, Mulayam was not very comfortable with the very aggressive style Mamata was adopting, and during the talks also, she had said that worse comes to worse, we'll ditch the Congress, we'll look at a third front and other things. Because, I mean, you had mentioned that both of them may be thinking of a snap election, winning 40, 75 seats and all that. But Mulayam is a much more realistic person on that. If there's an election and suppose a SP, at a national level, it has happened earlier in UP also that SP did not cross 25, BSP did not do that, Congress won 21 seats. So I think Mulayam is not very, very comfortable about the idea of a early election to the Lok Sabha. And also I think he would like to bargain better with the UPA and the Congress rather than, because Mamata has travelled the bitter road for a longer time, Mulayam has not yet done that. So I think the Congress back channel is working. How much it will be effective, that has to be seen. But all is not cozy with the M&M relationship, as your colleagues have also been reporting.
No, if all is not well within the UPA, then the opposition is also swimming in troubled waters. Clear signs of a rift emerging within the NDA. JDU clearly indicating they will not back Kalam. Though after that, Nitish Kumar has actually gone and welcomed Kalam at the airport. Things seem to be changing, but there is a big meeting tomorrow at LK Advani's residence. That's tomorrow morning, and we will be telling you then what happens, whether the NDA comes up with a different consensus candidate. Last question in this section. Navika, is it possible Kalam is a decoy candidate? Is it possible that M plus M have someone else in mind?
Well, it clearly looks at this stage that if Mamata Banerjee is stuck on Kalam and Kalam hasn't said yes, the fact that there were different signals coming from JDU, Nitish putting that to rest, all of that is happening, but Kalam still hasn't said yes. Last time around 2007, when he was offered a second term, he was very clear that he's not going to contest an election. He will only come in if he's a consensus candidate. He was a man satisfied, spent 5 years in Rashtrapati Bhavan, lived up to his image and got a lot of accolades from the people. He's not likely to put that on the burner right now to try and go in for a contest where there is no guarantee that he's going to actually win that election, and that is something that could really bring apart the Mamata gambit, as she's put it out. And Mamata has been proposing the names of Meera Kumar or other people. The question for the Congress is that they're not going to complicate this presidential election any further. Meera Kumar may be a good candidate, may have all the tokenism that goes with a Dalit woman becoming a president, but the fact is the Congress cannot afford yet another election which will be a speaker's election, and then again get into complicated wranglings with party on who the speaker will be and how to get the votes in for that. So all of that is extremely complicated, and that's the complication that the Congress party felt even with Manmohan Singh's name, which is why they nipped it in the bud. Similarly, for Meera Kumar's candidature, there will be a problem of fighting another speaker election, and that's something that the Congress is not going to do.
Does not want now, yes.
What we are learning is the Congress is going to stick to its gun. They've called Mamata Banerjee's bluff at the moment, and they're going to stick with their candidates on the cards.
Then they're going to put out two names. The meeting at 4 o'clock indicates there will be more meetings to build a consensus before that. The Congress party, knowing that Mamata is looking a little marginalized, wants to take no chances for tomorrow.